England are in the final. I can't really believe it still. A 2-1 win over the Netherlands thanks to an Ollie Watkins last minute winner. And what did I say? The guy in the thumbnail of the preview for the Netherlands game was Ollie Watkins. I literally said he was the reason how we would beat them. I mean, yes, I am a genius, and the FA are watching. I am available if Gareth does leave after this tournament. Anyway, yeah, that 2-1 win sent us through, and obviously Spain beat France 2-1 as well. And also, I realised those were my two predictions for the games as well. I'm just too smart. Anyway, we all know how good Spain are and have been at this Euros, a side who quite a few people underestimated coming into the tournament, but Luis de la Fuente has got this team firing on all cylinders and they've won all 6 of their games, and unlike England, they've progressed through their impressive attacking football. They've already knocked out 2 of the favourites, Germany and France, and scored the most goals with 13 and created the most chances with 96. Looking back for the last game for Spain, they beat France 2-1 as I said, thanks to that record-breaking goal from Lamine Yamal and the Dani Olmo goal. Spain faced a significant challenge against France, going 1-0 down, having only been behind once in the tournament prior. Despite this tough French defence, Spain maintained their attacking strategy. De La Fuente's approach allowed Navas and Cucurella to effectively support Williams and Yamal in the half spaces and overlaps. France's conservative pressing led to Kanté joining the front line, left Mbappe and Dembele to press the deep-lying Spanish fullbacks, which ultimately created defensive gaps. Navas's advanced positioning on the right wing, often dragging Hernandez out, allowed Yamal to exploit their midfield, leading to his historic equalising goal. Spain's primary focus was down the left, with 59% of their attacks originating there, utilising the interplay between Nico Williams, Fabian Ruiz and Cucurella. However, their decisive play came from the right flank, where Navas's deflective cross set up Dani Olmo for the winning goal, showcasing Spain's ability to quickly switch flanks and capitalise on the space provided. So how will Spain set up in the final, and how can they hurt England? Well, one thing England need to be careful of is the advancing fullbacks, who I assume in the final will be Cucurella and Carvajal. Here's an example of Spain building up with the ball against France. As you can see, the fullbacks are advancing, and not only are they pinning the wingers back, which is opening opportunities, but also offering passing opportunities. When building up, Spain's Fabian Ruiz goes into more of a 10 role, leaving Rodri on his own, and by now we all know he's probably the best defensive midfielder in the world, and he will be a really big problem. But Ruiz doing this allows Spain to move up the pitch and push the opposition midfield back. As for out of possession, Spain drop into what often looks like a 4-4-2, and they're so good at winning the ball back up high up the pitch, which is another problem England could face. Often when they're winning the ball back up, it's Morata and Olmo in those central 2 spots, and then Yamal and Williams are really quick to get back. Now, as for England, it was a much better performance, and the first 45 was probably the best of the tournament for Gareth Southgate's men so far. After the early goals, England settled into a 3-4-2-1 formation against the Netherlands 4-2-3-1. England's numerical advantage in the central midfield allowed them to dominate possession and create chances. Foden and Bellingham frequently switched sides, exploiting the spaces around Kane. Maitland and Rice provided additional support, leading to England's midfield dominance in the first half. Kieran Trippier was the weakest link on that left-hand side, so England's attack was more effective on the right. Saka and Foden's rotation, supported by Maitland, created promising opportunities. Kane's drops also linked well with these forward runs. A notable moment was Foden's impressive dribble, which nearly resulted in a goal, only to be cleared off the line by Dumfries. A key reason for England's first half domination was also their pressing strategy. Bellingham, Kane and Foden formed a frontline trio to press the Dutch centre-backs, goalkeeper and left-back Nathan Ake. Saka dropped back to assist Rice and Mainu in covering the Dutch midfield, while Trippier supported Gay and kept an eye on Dumfries. Although Depay's dropping runs occasionally troubled England, John Stones' commitment helpfully nullified these threats. The Netherlands, unable to break through England's press and high block, switched to long balls over the defence. Cody Gakpo joined Depay and later Donyell Malen in the frontline duo, with Saka trucking back, Walker tucked inside, creating a numerical advantage for England's 3 centre-backs against the Dutch forwards. England's backline and midfield effectively regained possession by winning most first and second contacts. In the second half, Netherlands made smart changes which stopped England's dominance, but the addition of Shaw for Trippier helped out a lot for England. So how can England beat Spain? Well, it's not going to be easy, we all know that. And we need to make sure, assuming we do stick with the formation, and I don't see why we wouldn't, that Foden and Bellingham can come and cover for Saka and Shaw or Trippier. And Spain will primarily attack down the flanks, and if Yamal comes forward, Carvajal won't be far behind, same with Williams and Cucurella. So this means that if Yamal drifts inside or overlaps, that'll drag Shaw or Trippier with him, which means then Carvajal can come out and overlap, and so Bellingham or Foden will need to be there to cover. But this does mean if we win the ball back there and we're looking to counter-attack, Kane or Watkins or Tony will be the only one up there, and would certainly make more sense to have Watkins there. He would suit that more than Kane, but I'll go into this debate a little bit more later on. It's also essential that England can keep Rodri off the ball as much as possible, as he's so key in their build-up play. However, there are many ways we can target them and look to score. One thing is potentially going more direct. Some people might not like it, but it's definitely an option, and something that Germany resorted to against them, which sometimes paid off. Another thing to note is that Spain play with a narrow defence at times. There's a loss of space out wide, something which England can exploit. As for how I'd set up, I'd make just 2 changes, Shaw for Trippier and Watkins for Kane. Now, let's just say Kane will start. We know that by now with Southgate. But this is my team, I can do what I like. I think Watkins can stretch the Spanish defence and create more space for Foden and Bellingham. When he makes the runs, he pushes Spain back. Obviously, his runs in behind and mobility is so good. And as I mentioned last time, starting with Watkins allows you to then bring on one of your 2 penalty specialist strikers for him if a shootout is looking likely. As for sure, we saw how much he improved us against the Netherlands, and it's the final, so if you're not going to start him now, you know, there was really no point taking. Obviously, it will help to have a left back at left back. Weird that, isn't it? Left back's better at left back. Look, we can sit here and talk about tactics all day, but ultimately, this team has got to work together. They've got to give it their all and bring football home, please. This team's come so close many times, and considering as we're kind of known as the unluckiest team in international football, we've had a lot of luck in this tournament. Seconds away from going out in the last 16 until we were saved by a bicycle kick in the last minute, a penalty shootout where we scored all 5 and won it, and, well, to say the very least, a very lucky penalty and another last minute winner against the Netherlands. Just seems like everything might be falling into place. Maybe it's, oh yeah, Spain are good, aren't they? My prediction is 2 minutes in, Luke Shaw, then Spain score in the 67th minute. Extra time, nothing happens. Penalties. Might be similar to a certain game, you might remember. But this time, England win on penalties. Please, football gods, if you're there, please. Just any way we win, I don't know. If I was being unbiased, I'd probably say like Spain 3-1, but gotta have hope. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think will happen in the game. Let me know how you think both teams should set up, and hopefully the next time I do a video, football will have come home. Thanks for watching. See you later.